Good evening, and welcome to the Curse of Strahd. Who would like to recap what happened last time?
Guests showed up and ruined an almost entirely peaceful transition of power.
Well, to be fair, we think that
Lady Walker was
Walker,
involved with that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. But I already made a deal with her that I would not pursue her or her family, so there's not much we can really do about that.
yeah. If that's the extent of her interference, I'd probably just let it go.
Mm-hmm. Besides, I fully plan on having a talk with Gesh once they wake up.
Right, you were not quite carting, but carrying him over to the prison.
Yep. Stripped of weapons and armor, and putting them in a cell so they can't just die and come back where we can't keep tabs on them.
And was there anything else?
You say that like there's something we should be remembering.
Casimir showed up?
Oh
Was
yeah,
that last
Casimir
session or
got
the
here.
session
Yes.
before?
No, I'm pretty sure that was last session. He was surprised to find us there. He says that his deceased sister has been speaking to him in his dreams or something. Some kind of messages or visions to him. And that's why he really wants to go to the Amber Temple, because he thinks maybe they can make her alive again somehow, I guess. Right?
That sounds right.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. And you also visited Valeria and Irina.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And Valeria was like, shiny sun sword, gimme, gimme, moth to flame.
Well, she was also told Katrina that in order to protect her from the Strahd owns the land, therefore has permission to enter the dwelling, therefore,
Mm-hmm.
her security's compromised.
Yeah,
You must take
that's
the land from him.
fair. And Katrina has been made aware of this and is now planning on accompanying the party to the Amber Temple whenever they head to the Amber Temple, but has business to attend to here in Vallaki first.
And yeah, that's about it.
Cool.
So yeah, you have Gesh brought to the prison, and you chain him up. He's
Gonna just
chained to the wall now.
roll some hit dice so I'm not at half health. One more for good measure. Cool.
Oh, are we taking a short rest?
I assumed we'd have the option to.
Yes.
Okay.
Katrina's definitely waiting for Gesh to wake up.
Yeah, you are definitely
Yes, but I will do arcane recovery.
You are definitely able to short rest, before he wakes up. It takes some time.
Mm.
But eventually,
Oh, good, you're awake. spent the last...
He looks at you
Sorry.
but says nothing.
I've spent the last hour or so just sitting here thinking of what to say to you. I should be angry, given your rather unprovoked attack, but honestly, I'm just relieved to see you again. I'm sorry about Jasmine. I truly am. I didn't realize you two were so close. If you know where her remains are, we might be able to do something about it. We met someone in Krez.
Pretty sure we can't.
I'm
mean, she
putting
was-
it out there. We met someone in Kresk, a powerful healer who claims to be able to bring the dead back to life.
He scowls as you mention bringing the dead back to life.
Not the way I do it, if that's what you're concerned about.
I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure once you've been sacrificed to, like, a god, there's no revivify after that. I mean, revivify is, like, has a time limit anyway, but you know what I mean.
I will not allow you to make her into a monster. A
Uh,
monster like me.
That was not the
Let
intention.
her rest.
Let her rest. Very well. I can respect that. So I take it you have some questions about this arrangement. Katrina says, just sort of glancing over at Misery, who she was not expecting to be in the room right now.
I have no questions. And I have nothing to say to you.
Misery, do you mind leaving us for a moment?
Fine. She will step out of the room.
If I've learned anything in Barovia, it's this. No one bad is ever truly bad, and no one good is ever truly good. People are inherently complex creatures of motive and emotion, and because of that, the world is never black and white. It's far more nuanced than that. She came to us just after Camus died, after my father murdered him in Argynvostolt. I swore myself to the Raven Queen, vowing not to let another of my allies fall in battle if I could help it. Between you, Jasmine, and then Camus, it seemed death was inevitable. I couldn't bear to see it play out like that again. And then you watch as her sort of mournful expression turns into more of a snarl. And then she showed up. Make no mistake when I say that all of us distrust her for her role in what happened here. I very nearly killed her on the spot, but we were all still tired from the battles we had so recently endured. It wasn't a fight we would easily win. Besides, you don't have to like someone to work with them, and you certainly don't have to enjoy it either. She claims that despite the deep-seated animosity between Orcus and the Raven Queen, the two deities have aligned themselves against a greater evil. My father. From what I've seen, she truly believes that. You don't have to trust her, but in this matter, you can. We have a common enemy. You, me, her, all three of us. Let that be enough.
He looks down. I wouldn't know anything about the will of the Raven Queen. Not anymore.
Just because you fell from her favor does not mean that you cannot be redeemed. Have a little more faith in yourself.
The lack of pure good and pure evil in everyone. Tell me, does that also apply to your father?
I would hope so, but given what I've seen of him, it's certainly not hopeful. The vampires yesterday were a temporary thing, just putting that out there. My father gave me an ultimatum of sorts. He wanted me to take control of Vallaki, and I was in no position to say no. Everyone else who wanted to rule has reasons for mistrust, and everyone else fit to rule, she looks over at Victor, doesn't want to. I'm doing this so it doesn't go to shit any more than it already has, and apparently I can't trust anyone else to do that for me.
The vampires are temporary, are they?
Yes.
And yet you yourself are one now. I can smell the stink on you.
I know you can sense what I am. She sort of gestures around her neck where the pendant once was, but no longer is.
I mean, she was, you
She
know,
was the whole time.
I'm
was
gonna
with us.
pipe up. Yeah, she's been one
I'm-
the whole time. So
I hid my nature from you and Marcus when we first met for exactly that reason, because I knew how you saw the undead, how you swore to destroy them. But even so, I'm still the same person.
I'd like
I
you to
haven't
make a
changed.
persuasion roll.
All right.
Since he's like, oh, the last time I cast my detect, evil undead, you weren't one, and now you are.
I haven't changed. I've just come to terms with it. And so has Marcus.
Then how come I couldn't sense it before?
I already told you. There was a necklace, an enchantment on it that specifically masked the presence of the one wearing it, allowing undead to be seen as not. It was a gift from my mother.
He can't really refute this, so he just stays silent and grumpy.
But back to the vampires and my father. As I said before, the guards are temporary. Once I've settled into the role as leader of Vallaki, and once I have a solid plan in place, I fully intend to either get my father to withdraw them or rout them myself. My father is the enemy here, and I fully intend to go to war against him, but I can't yet. It's too dangerous for me, my companions, and for the people of Vallaki. I hate being powerless, but right now my hands are tied.
He doesn't really have anything to say to this.
I'll look to Victor or Marcus to see if they have anything to add to this.
I'm still not sure what you want from him.
Before I go, though, I do have something for you. A gift, a concession, call it what you will. Katrina will reach into a bag at her side, and point of order, Misery. This is the last time I'm going to ask you this out of character. All this time, the skull of Orcus has been in the cart, just hidden under a pile of rubble. Would Misery have taken the time to search for it, look for it, recover it in any way?
No.
Excellent.
She didn't try to.
So Katrina will reach into the bag at her side and sort of telekinesis mage hand out the skull of Orcus. I know you don't trust me, but I still trust you. I know you know what this is, and I know you'd never use it yourself, and I know you'd sooner die than let it fall back into the hands of people like her or my father. She sort of floats it through the bars and over to Gesh. So I'm giving it to you for safekeeping. If you find a way to destroy it, all the better. But even if not, I trust you'll keep it safe from those who seek to use it. Please don't betray that trust.
You shouldn't. Trust me, that is.
Because you don't trust yourself.
Because I'm not worthy of it.
The reason I'm doing this is because you are.
He thinks for a moment. Then that is your mistake to make. And he'll take the skull. Well, he can't because he's chained up, but...
I'll, drop the skull near him at his feet or something. And then Katrina will stand up and sort of nod to Victor and Marcus. Before fully stepping out of the prison block, she will turn back to Gesh one final time and say, if you need anything from me, speak to the guard on duty. They'll relay your message to me when the opportunity arises.
You know, I
guard-
kind of have something I want to say to Gesh.
The
By all
guard,
means.
the guard on duty is like, I will? I mean, of course I will, yes.
You know, I don't... This whole, dramatic self-pity thing that you've got going on, I don't even know you, but this is getting old real fast. And I am, yes, I am being rude. I don't know what you want. I don't even think you know what you want, but you need to figure it out. If you thought that, you'd get an honorable death or something stupid like that by ambushing us at the transfer of power, fine, but that didn't happen, and as far as I can tell, Katrina won't kill you no matter what you do, so...
It wouldn't
change your
matter if
plans,
she
I
did.
guess.
Just leave me here to rot.
Okay, I tried. Throw up my hands. Walk out.
Katrina will follow.
Okay, that's all I wanted to do.
For once, I actually said everything I planned and wrote out. What is this?
You leave Gesh alone with the skull and his thoughts.
So, did you all have a nice chat with Gesh?
I would say he'll come around, but I honestly doubt it. poor man hates himself more than anything else.
Yeah, but that's not your problem. At least you shouldn't let it be your problem.
I'm not going to.
Okay, good.
So,
Excuse me, my lady.
yes?
There's someone here to see you.
She'll just nod and turn back to the other three.
Who is it
I'll
now?
I'll catch up with you later at the inn, I suppose?
Are you
We'll find...
sure you want to go there alone?
She just, like, tilts her head downward a bit with this look that just says, really? Whether or not you like it, I'm the leader of Vallaki now, and when the rest of you leave, I'm still going to be here making decisions on my own. If I can't do that now, then what hope do I have then? She'll just nod, give a slight bow, and then follow the guard to whoever's waiting outside.
You'll know where to find us if you need us.
I will.
All right. Well, the guards lead you to the square
Okay.
where there's a contingent of the vampire guards. And a familiar face.
That guy.
As soon as I can, I'm going to send a message, like sending to Marcus and say, get to the square now.
You just send them off, and then you're like, no, wait, come back.
I'd just look at the others and say, Katrina wants us to go to the square.
He does.
I told her she didn't want to go alone. I am going to join, but I am also going to cast invisibility on myself. Because I got that as one of my abyssal spells today.
Okay.
Hmm.
So you are hidden.
Yes.
Good old General What's-His-Face. I always forget his name.
Dragomir?
Dragomir?
Captain Dragomir,
Dragomir.
as
will
he
also,
announces himself.
head back over there, I guess.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
I was expecting Lady Wachter.
You're, about an hour or three too late. She just handed over the city to me.
So I see. In that case, my business here is with you.
Very well.
To put it simply, I need bodies. Living ones, this time.
You supplement your forces, I assume.
For a work project.
She'll sort of
I
tilt
need
her head.
laborers, not soldiers.
This is totally from the place we just were.
Yeah,
Do you
I mean,
mind if
you do recall he was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
we need to go get more people from Vallaki,
Yeah,
let's
I know,
go,
that's
and then
why I
you
said that.
teleported to Vallaki ahead of him.
I forgot he specifically said Tabalaki, but I remembered everything else.
He might not have said specifically to Vallaki, but clearly with hindsight now, that is what he meant.
Might I ask what this work project entails?
You might. though you might not receive an answer.
What does this work project entail?
Roll either persuasion or intimidate.
I'm gonna go with... It's a lower modifier, but Katrina's kind of getting fed up with this, so it's gonna be intimidate.
Okay. It is for an excavation.
And was... I assume this excavation was ordered by my father and not Lady Wachter.
But of course.
What a weird question to ask.
I should have known the answer. You do work for him and not her. Either way. How many do you need?
I believe 10 would suffice.
And what compensation are you providing to these workers?
To the workers. He looks over at one of his guys next to him, who just shrugs back at him. What an interesting question.
Can't exactly be a very good leader of people if you don't see the people you're leading as people, can you?
Well, they are only human.
Katrina does not say anything to that comment.
Their relative safety, I suppose. After all, I do need them alive.
And if you can promise me they will return alive, you'll have them.
I'm afraid such promises are a bit outside of my word. Accidents can and do happen after all. But those who survive the work, yes, they may return.
When do you need these workers by?
Tonight, I will leave the details of their selection up to you, but they are needed for physical labor.
Understood.
I will take not the sick and the frail.
I will see what I can do.
And he will sort of just march off.
Apologies for the short notice. I thought we were about to fight.
I mean, you could have.
What did he want?
He
Yeah,
wanted-
Marcus and the others are like arriving about now. Or,
He wanted-
arrived at like the tail end of the conversation.
He wanted 10 of Valaki's able-bodied, sort of opening telepathic communication to help excavate the ruin we just raided.
But there's no problem, is there?
There shouldn't be. But I suspect there will be questions when they return to the excavation site and find it's already somewhat dealt with. But regardless, I don't think any of these people that we are going to send their way will be in any actual danger, but that doesn't change the fact that many will be afraid to go.
My lady, I must the human guard, by your side, will speak up. I must say the citizens of Valaki have already been quite devastated between the riots and the attack and the plague.
How many prisoners are there right now?
And, well, other things. He
Let's not add
makes a nervous
retribution for
glance at one of
refusing
the
an offer
vampire
to.
soldiers.
Let's not add retribution for refusing an offer to the list.
Of course not. Just
I have reason to believe that the individuals sent on this expedition will be relatively safe, and they will not face any dangers from the crew they are working with, the Vladimir and his men. And if they do, they will answer to me when they return. I only have my citizens' best interests in mind.
Valaki did collect taxes, didn't it?
They did.
I mean,
Do you happen
obviously,
to
I
know if
know that in character.
Do you happen to know if there's any of those left, or were they all raided in the riots?
they were raided, unfortunately, but we do have the last most recent days of taxes.
How much do we have in the treasury?
I wouldn't know myself, my lady.
He's just a guard.
I'm clearly new to this role. Can you point me to the person who does know?
He tries to think who would know.
Lady Walker.
Yes, I believe Lady Wachter would have been the one to handle such matters.
Fair enough.
If not her, then certainly she would know.
Shall we pay her a visit then? She says to the party and not the guards.
I guess so.
This is, of course, my business, and you don't have to come if you don't want to, but
Oh, now you're inviting us.
I've learned my lesson that You know what? Never mind, let's just go.
Yeah, I can see you're totally clueless at this. I think you need our help.
It's not what I was going to say.
But that doesn't
Well,
mean
it's
it
what I
isn't
wanted to
true.
say.
No, I don't really think you're in a position to speak, given that you willingly did not want to take up this mantle.
You know what? Fine. I'll set up.
we head to Lady Walker's.
All right, you head over to the Wachter house.
I'm noting that I still have not yet dropped invisibility.
Cool.
Oof.
How
Sorry,
long does that
Camus, you're not
last?
on this map.
Woof.
An hour.
Who's not on this map?
Camus. He was down here on the top of the stairs from the last time we had to kill things
There's
here.
2 of me on this map.
Yeah. Yeah, that basement is now not
Real.
real.
Katrina will approach the front door and knock.
There's 2 miseries.
Oh, there was another. Where's the... Oh, I'm over there. Sorry.
Eventually, a servant will answer the door. Yes?
Is Lady Walker around?
She is. Might I ask what this visit is for?
Continuing the logistics of transferring power over Valaki to myself, particularly with regards to the treasury.
Yes, let me ask her. Please wait here. And she'll close the door. And then eventually, the door will open again. Ah, Lady Zarovna.
You can call me Katrina.
Of course, Katrina.
As I am led to believe, the treasury and the taxes that were collected under, not you, but the former burgomaster's reign were looted in the riots, and you handled most of the financials for the city during your time in office. Would you happen to know where those funds can be located?
Yes. I've been managing that from within my estate.
Excellent. Katrina will just take a step across the threshold. I hope you wouldn't mind if I took a look, would you?
Oh, of course. Come in, come in. And she will invite you in. And then she will tell the servant to go fetch the records, dear. Which records, my lady? The financial ones.
Specifically the financial ones.
The taxes? Oh, of course, my lady, right away. She'll go off somewhere and do that.
Katrina will patiently wait for the servant's return.
Lady Wachter will
I
see
sit down
everyone,
at least.
yeah, who is not sitting and say, "Oh, please sit." Victor's just sitting on one of the couches instead of at the table.
Yeah, I don't care. This is my business.
Yep.
I mean, I've kind of regretting that now, seeing how clueless you are. That's how I'm playing it. Is like I know this isn't my business, but it's kind of pissing me off. Because if you want, someone to do a job, you have to. If you want a job done right, you have to do it yourself. But I'm like trying not to do that as much as it annoys me.
Would you care for some tea while you wait?
I'm fine, but thank you for offering. It's, unfortunate what happened earlier today.
Oh, it was simply dreadful. I trust you are all perfectly all right.
We are, but the same cannot be said for 5 of the citizens of the city, which Gesh managed to incidentally murder during his demonstration.
A tragedy.
Indeed.
Here we are. Let's see. Total collected taxes available are 2 gold and 30 silver.
Wow.
Of course, this is after the payroll to the gods
Of course.
and other administrative expenses to the city.
Well, I'm going to be the first to admit that I do not have the most experience in this area of expertise nor statecraft. So,
Would you perhaps like assistance?
I was just about to suggest that.
Oh my god, really?
If you would be willing to handle the financials, so long as you keep the papers as orderly and understandable as this, then I don't see a reason not to work together on this. She will look over to Victor and just add, unless somebody else wants to help.
I can't believe I'm doing this, but you can't let her do it. Do you have any idea how monumentally irresponsible that is?
In your own vocalized opinion, you said I was unfit and didn't know what I was doing. Trina just
He
shrugged.
hates you.
You don't have to like someone to work with them.
She'll do everything she can at every moment to undermine you.
Oh, I would never.
Oh, I believe you already have with Gesh, but we're past that.
Whatever do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean. Either way.
Well,
I'm
if
guessing there's no one in the city who survived the purge of my father's administration.
And as far as I'm aware, the only 2 truly noble families in Vallaki before everything happened were the Volokoviches and the Wachter family.
Well, I suppose there's the von Holtzes and the von Grimms.
What do I know about them?
Well, you know the von Grimms is
Vasily von
Valeria.
Holtz was somebody that we sort of met and was one of the people that was about to be sacrificed by Lady Wachter. We
Before
haven't
that,
really.
he was also in her basement club. Well, it
Hmm.
wasn't. He wasn't necessarily a sacrifice.
That was Vasily, right?
Yeah,
Vasily von Holtz, yeah.
yeah. Vasily stepped in when, like, I forget who it was, but like, oh, they needed a fifth sacrifice
Is he
because
still alive? I don't remember.
Yeah, he escaped. We
yeah,
helped him
you
to
got him out.
escape.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, after you got, I think it was the priest out, and Misery was like, okay, well, what if we sacrifice Lady Walker's daughter instead? And there was a whole standoff. Vasily was like, you know what? I'll do it.
So,
But yeah,
about my
you
offer.
also got him out.
Even if it is only until I am confident enough in the roles and responsibilities of the job to handle it on my own, I would appreciate your assistance in the meantime.
Oh, but of course.
As it so happens, Dragomir paid me a visit, looking for you, but you are no longer the leader of Valaki.
Let me guess, he wants access to the graveyard again.
No, he wanted 10 of Valaki's able-bodied as manual laborers, alive this time.
Quite the commodity.
I hardballed him, asked him what sort of compensation he was going to provide them. He didn't give an answer on that. I don't think I'm going to get any volunteers without some amount of coin, which it seems we are dreadfully lacking.
Well, what will you do then?
I'm still deciding.
You could empty the prisons.
I could.
I don't know if that would be enough, as I'm not sure as to any arrests you may or may not have made following the day's events, but
Just the one. And I don't plan on letting them go anywhere anytime soon.
well, if memory serves, there were 3 currently arrested as of yesterday.
Right. Well, thank you for your time, and I believe we'll be in touch.
Anytime.
And we'll just bow and make her way outside. You can see what a predicament this is, yes? If I hardball
Oh,
Dragomir,
absolutely.
if I hardball Dragomir or outright refuse to give him people, volunteers, what have you, then it will almost certainly devolve into conflict and might mean, well, it would certainly cause a scene.
Confrontation with your father.
Yes. We've already killed one of his four chosen. But if I do give him the people he wants, like, I don't foresee any harm coming to them unless it's Dragomir at fault. We cleared out the excavation site of anything we came across, the Drake children.
There's, of course, still the possibility of excavation accidents.
There are. Katrina
Just mundane stuff like people falling off ladders and shit.
Katrina sort of reaches into her coin purse and pulls out, like, roughly 15, 20 gold coins. I was thinking in order to get volunteers, I could offer a monetary incentive, maybe 2 gold per person. And with
I think
the
you're
3
probably
from the...
better off offering a wage.
Out of character, I didn't quite catch what you said.
I think it would possibly be more attractive presented as a wage.
That is the way I was going to present it, yes.
Although Dragomir didn't mention how long.
They did not. I also neglected to mention how long this excavation has gone on, so I don't really know the time frame of how long they can be expected to be gone from Vallaki. But with 3 prisoners and 7 other volunteers at wage, it might be doable to find the people they need. And if Dragomir returns with any of them missing, we can confront him then. I guess I can, seeing as you'll probably have moved on by then.
Well, like I told Casimir, we'll see.
I mean, the alternative is that we fight him, and I can't guarantee any of our safety if that happens.
I didn't think you were guaranteeing our safety in the first place.
What he
That's the
said.
invisible floating air behind you. I don't know if Misery has actually made her presence known to the party right now, or to Katrina, because
She was speaking in the earlier scene, so
okay. Also invisible.
yes.
Lady Walker didn't. I guess Lady Walker's just used to Misery's bullshit.
Misery didn't speak in that scene,
Oh.
so Wachter wouldn't have known that she was there unless she has true sight or
Maybe
high
she
enough
does.
perception.
Anyway, enough of that little tangent.
I'll let the town guard know to send out a call for volunteers. 1 gold per person paid in advance for a week of work, and an additional gold piece for every week longer that it takes. Does that seem fair to you, Victor?
Well, out of character, I'm looking at the lifestyle expenses.
You're cutting out a bit.
Out of character, they're looking
I'm
at the
looking at the
lifestyle
lifestyle expenses page.
Of what?
Of the 5th edition D&D manual, the player's
Like how
handbook.
much a peasant makes in a year kind of stuff.
Yeah, 1
Yeah.
gold in a week is probably a lot more than a peasant makes normally.
For the lifestyle expenses page, it says squalid conditions 1 silver, poor 2 silver per day, modest 1 gold per day, comfortable
Really?
2 gold per day.
So 1 gold per week is like
A little less than poor. The description for poor says, at the bottom, people with this lifestyle tend to be unskilled laborers, costermongers, peddlers, thieves, mercenaries, and other disreputable types.
Unfortunately, given the circumstances and how much money I personally have on hand, I can't reasonably offer more than that and expect to be able to keep my word. After all, I don't know how long this excavation is going to take.
Well, about as long as it takes for him to realize that we already found what he wants.
Maybe if you could just swing for the 14 silver, so like 1.5 gold per week. Which would meet the alleged unskilled labor necessary expenses. It's also possible that there are enough unemployed people in Valaki that would be an attractive option. I mean, it's possible that there's enough unemployed or desperate people in Valaki that the 1 gold per week is going to be enough, but it's also possible that it's not.
2 gold up front for a week of work, and 1 gold for every week thereafter.
make a insight or history check.
I will make an insight check with the knowledge that I am not from Barovia.
No, it can be a non-Barovian history.
Okay. Still an 8. I'm a spoiled rich kid. I don't know what money is worth.
Okay. Yeah, you don't really.
So make it.
Given Misery's background, would she have a better idea?
Yeah, you can roll.
I mean, I'm rolling with a -1, but wait.
Victor is evidently okay. Yeah, Misery don't know shit.
Look, as much as I didn't want to, my father taught me shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Victor, you know that in times of like plague and disaster and like a shit ton of people die, like now, when there are less people to work, unemployment is down and people are
Well, yeah, but there's also less demand. Or if the proprietors or owners of businesses or technicians, people who run things, if they're deceased, then certain enterprises may be totally destroyed.
usually people just tend to step in and replace them in
Yeah.
towns such as this. And given that like the town government, like the burgomaster is usually the employer of a large majority of the citizenry,
Yeah.
it is a employees market right now, as it were. Which will make it extra difficult to incentivize. That may in fact be like one of the reasons why the available revenue is so low, is that Lady Walker's has been having to pay extra to
Mhm.
of course it could also mean that her administrative expenses are,
Bullshit.
yeah.
And that's why I'm not letting her have it in the long run. Actually, I forgot to do this, but can I make a roll or something while I was looking over the records they had to see if any of the expenses were bullshit, if everything sort of like lined up, there was no embezzlement under the table?
I mean, considering that you're like remembering it,
Fair.
I will let you roll, but yeah, bear in mind that it's like a
Hmm.
we'll say disadvantage because you're
Okay.
doing it after the fact.
What sort of roll would that be?
Probably perception or insight. Okay.
Everything looks clean.
Um, yeah, I mean,
To be fair, I also just don't
yeah,
know what to look for.
yeah, that's more part of it. Like you remember, oh yeah, administrative expenses. That could be suspicious, but you like don't have like the numbers added up, and while there were items that could be suspicious, they also like were arguably not.
Hmm.
I still think
You are breaking up
is
consistently.
sorry, I'm not sorry. I've had my hand in front of my face scratching that. So that's probably why. Um I still think you're better off putting one of the Von Grimms or the Von Holtzes in charge of this if you can't do it yourself.
Well,
They'll be
you all know
thankful.
the Von Grimms aren't really an option.
Well, yeah.
I will
At
seek
least
out
not a
Von
public
Holtz.
option.
I will seek out and consult Von Holtz when I get a chance, but for right now, we still have the immediate problem that needs to be solved by day's end. Well, you don't, I do.
I still can't figure out why you're so adverse to taking out the problem at its source. If Dragomir isn't around, we don't have to pay him. The citizens would love it if you made a public spectacle of executing one of Strahd's lieutenants.
And when word gets back to my father,
Well, he didn't seem to care about his spy master dying.
Yes, but that was in a secluded corner of the woods. This is in the middle of a town. There are eyes everywhere. Unless you have any better ideas, I'll let the guard know to spread the word of my offer for volunteers. 2 gold up front, 1 for any additional week of work. And at the end of the day, however many we get, we get. Dragomir will just have to deal with that. Besides, I didn't promise him anything.
What exactly did you promise Lady Wachter?
Just now or earlier?
Earlier.
I would not seek revenge or retribution against her family for her events in the coup against your family. They would be allowed to keep their estate and their family in peace from
Never
that
mind.
particular.
You can't very well, commandeer the estate now after promising that you wouldn't do that.
Correct.
Anything else?
I don't know why we're still standing outside Lady Wachter's doorstep.
Yeah,
Katrina
that's
will
a good
start
question.
walking towards someone in the town guard. Because she doesn't know how else to get an announcement out on short notice.
You can go back to the town square.
Yeah, that's probably what she's going to do. She's going to offer basically what I've been saying near the end, looking for volunteers. And when the time comes, she will also take the 3 prisoners who are not Gesh from the prisons and offer them up as well.
Okay.
And
You just
if we come short, we come short.
so I guess
Will the
well, I guess
prisoners
first is the
receive
guard.
amnesty, or...
Sure.
What was the price that you were
2 gold up front for an expected 1 week of work, and 1 gold for every additional week upon return.
All right, I'll spread the word, my lady.
Thank you.
And then you go to the prison.
Well, we wait and do whatever else in the day we can do, and then when it's closer to Dragomir's deadline, then I will go to the prison and offer the do this job however long it takes, and you'll receive amnesty and go free.
Right. You go back to the prison.
I assume that invisibility has faded by now,
Oh yeah.
so I'll just drop that.
I don't like the way you said you go back to the prison.
And yeah, you see well, there's 4 prisoners there. One of whom is not of the 3 because you just put him there.
Mm-hmm. I will first offer the offer to these 3.
You're offering to pay them?
No. For the prisoners, I'm basically saying, if you do this job for Dragomir, however long it takes, then upon your return you will be granted amnesty and go free.
And how long will this take? Says prisoner number 1.
I expect no more than a week, but I was not given an exact time frame.
And what if this ends up being longer than my sentence?
How long is your sentence?
4 weeks.
You could offer the additional compensation though.
If
Beyond that.
If the work takes longer than your sentence, then I will happily provide a wage of 1 gold per week for any additional time. You are also more than welcome to not take this offer. If you would rather just
I
wait
mean,
it out
you're in
here.
charge here, so.
How generous of you, says prisoner number 2.
I try to be.
How can we trust one of Lady Walker's dogs?
Who said that?
Prisoner number 2.
The one in the middle?
Yeah.
I will step right up to the bars and ask him, say that again.
Well, you do work for her, don't you?
My apologies, I was so
Ever
zoomed
since
in,
the
I
new
didn't notice there
burgomaster
was
took
stuff
over.
up there.
Hmm?
I didn't realize there was more on the map up there because I was zoomed in, so
Oh, yeah.
I've now
No,
moved up
there's.
so you can see the prisoners.
I didn't quite hear their last line because multiple people were talking.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's like ever since that bitch took over.
She's no longer in power. I am. You're looking at the new burgomaster of Valaki.
Oh. Well, in that case, pleased to hear it.
So anyway, about this offer.
I
Do you
shouldn't
accept?
be here. My only crime was criticizing that woman.
Is that prisoner number 1?
Number 2.
Still prisoner number 2. If you're looking for my pity, you won't find it. I am sorry that you were wrongfully put here, but Dragomir, one of my father's
He spits at the
tenants,
name.
has put me in a rather difficult situation with regards to this. As I said, you're more than welcome to stay here in the cell and wait your 4 weeks, but on the off chance that this job takes less time than that, you'll go free early.
I don't have 4 weeks.
Yeah, that was prisoner number 1, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, they have different sentences.
Fair enough. I did not ask how long this guy's sentence was, but you're more than welcome to wait out your sentence in here, but the offer still stands.
And how is the additional payment compared to variable sentence length?
And I, as a player, ask that you clarify the question.
Yeah, he'll go on to say, I do not have 4 weeks. I've been sentenced to rot until I recount my words against the burgomaster. Seeing as you are now the burgomaster, and I have
You can either
said
do
no
this
words
job.
against you. Sorry, what did you say?
You can either do this job and go free on a set schedule, or you can wait until such a time as I am in more of a position to take pity on you and go free then.
Still doesn't answer my question.
He'll move on and
Will
decides.
I be compensated? You're giving her past 4
She'll
weeks payment.
she'll move on to this prisoner and ask, "What's your sentence length?"
I don't know. They never told me.
Fine. Given the
Accused me of
information,
thievery, they did.
fine.
But I did nothing.
Given the information I have with me right now, all of you, if you accept, will do this work for Dragomir for as long as it takes. If it takes longer than 4 weeks, I'll reimburse you 1 gold for every additional week. So it's fair to all of you. After your turn, you'll go free.
Make a persuasion check. Prisoner number 1 will they'll step forward as much as they can. They'll, just lean forward.
I'll motion for the guards to unlock their cell door.
And prisoner number 3 will say, if this is the only way I can get out of here, then I'll do it. I want to see my people again. You notice this one is dressed like a Vistani.
Yep.
And the guy in the middle is like, this is preposterous. If you were different from Lady Wachter as you claim, you would simply release me.
Trina will say nothing and move over to Gesh's cage.
He looks at you.
I'm sure you overheard me.
I did.
What about you?
You're offering to release me and pay me?
If you're willing to work with Dragomir.
You know Dragomir killed him, right?
Katrina just smiles and says, "That's what I thought," and walks off.
That would have been my fate if she had not intervened. As you walk off, he's like, wait. You said that you serve the Raven Queen now.
Do?
Is this my fate from her then?
I don't know what fate she has in store for you.
He
Only she
frowns.
does, and only you have the power to change it. So what will you do?
By all rights, I should be truly dead now. Had misery not... No. Had I not chosen to come back through her foul power, I would be working this excavation site you speak of, and I would not be the monster I am now.
But what, you think it's fate?
You're not there.
Well, yeah.
But yeah. If not fate, then perhaps a form of penance.
Think of it what you will. The offer still stands. But time is quickly running out.
Fine. I'll do it.
He will nod, get closer to the cell, and enter sort of telepathic communication, and just say, "And do not forget about our previous deal," she says, sort of nodding over to where the skull of Orcus is.
I still feel compelled to tell you, you are making a grave mistake.
And I'll live with the consequences, won't I?
Or perhaps you'll die with them.
And he walks off. So, wasn't exactly the 3 I thought we were getting, but we do have 3 volunteers.
All right.
What news from the announcement the guards made? Have any of the citizens stepped forward?
Roll a d20. Well, as luck would have it, my lady, enough people stepped forward.
Katrina just sighs in relief. Very well. Then let's go prepare to meet Dragomir.
All right, you go to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
This will be interesting.
Lady Zarovna.
Shouldn't
Punctual, I see.
Dragomir.
Do you have the bodies?
Have the volunteers.
Call them what you will. He goes to look them over.
But before I entrust them to your care,
Is it a good idea to send Gesh to work with him with the Skull of Orcus?
I mean, I'm sure he can find like a sack or something to hide it on him.
That's true.
Before I entrust them to your care, though,
I mean,
Katrina will-
still, he could find it.
Yeah, detect magic is the thing.
well, I've made my choice, and for better or worse, I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
Before I entrust them to your care, I need you to understand something. She will step forward. You may not see them as people, but I do. I'm paying them salary in compensation for their work. And the next time you knock on my door, I expect you to do the same with my father's money. Do you understand?
You'll have to take that up with him, I'm afraid.
You're asking the citizens of my town to work without payment, then? Is that what I understand?
I'm asking them to do their duty to their lord. Food and lodgings will be provided.
Say it's not up to you, but my father, yes?
Yes.
Then take it up with him next time you meet.
He takes a step forward towards you. If you care about these people so much, then might I suggest you take it up with him yourself? And he just stares you down.
You do realize I have every right to tell these people to go home now and leave you with nothing. I haven't promised you anything.
No, you haven't promised me anything. But you too have a duty.
Till my father informs me otherwise, my duty is to them, not you.
Your duty is to him. Never forget it. And he will go step off towards the volunteers and begin announcing to them what the job is.
They're mostly able-bodied, right? The Vistani prisoner, I think, was kind of old, but
Yeah, I mean, because you have more than you need, he's gonna he's gonna say, oh, this one's too old. Or like, that one's too sick, that one's too fat. These will do. You will be working in an excavation site to the west of here. I expect that the task will be done within 6 months, after which you may return here to Vallaki.
I'm sorry.
we can find more money. It's not a big deal.
You gave me no indication for how long this was going to take. Do you honestly expect me to have been able to bargain for their labor in good faith?
I didn't expect you to bargain at all, Lady
You don't
Zerovna.
know me. She'll turn and say, everyone, the deal is off. You're free to return to your homes.
This is gonna go really poorly.
The prisoners look a little uncertain.
You're free to go as well.
You never even asked them what they did. Well, except the Vistani guy was accused of being a thief. But
Well,
the other one,
One of them was accused or was just in prison for being a dissenter.
Yeah.
And then
But he
the
was
other
the one
one
who
was only
decided
there for
not.
4 days, so
No,
Or
he
4
was.
weeks.
No, the 4-week one was the one that you don't know the crime.
Yeah.
The dissenter was like, until you recant, and he was like, no.
Well, I mean, whatever it was, if it was 4 weeks, it's not that bad, right? It's not like they murdered somebody, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
But the
prisoners
old
are just gonna
Vistani guy
like,
just stole some stuff, so.
the prisoners are just gonna give like an awkward thumbs up and book it. Like, oh, I can just go. Cool. Yeah, I'ma just go. Yeah,
The
cool.
one
Bye.
guy who refused is still in prison.
Yeah. When he hears about that, he's just gonna be like, this is bullshit.
You can probably. I mean, I would let him go, but that's me.
We're not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
If we survive this encounter.
Most unwise. He puts his hand on the hilt of his sword.
Trina will take the disengage action and step
I
back
wish
to her
I
companions.
had spent more hit die now.
Also, Gesh is off.
Okay. That's valid.
And then he's booking it.
Yeah. This is your last chance. Comply.
Katrina's going to turn to the 3 human guards and just say, "This is an order. Leave, secure the area, and make sure the people of Vallaki are safe. Do you understand?"
Yes, my lady. And they will all book it, but with purpose.
I think these are old stuff in the turn order.
Yeah, these are old rolls.